Hi everybody, my name is Becka Robinson and I am here today to talk to you guys a little bit about personal branding and how to stand out from the crowd as a coach and how to find your own special, unique voice. So before I dive in, I thought I would just introduce myself and say hi. I am currently a 4-star Diamond Premier Coach on the Bombshell Dynasty team. My little team is called Team BTFP, and I love branding. So I'm so excited that I was asked to talk to you guys about this today, and I hope that this helps. I thought that the first thing that we could do would be to define what personal branding even means so we're on the same page. So to me, personal branding is the way that you tell your story without words. So this could mean just the general sense of who you are. It could mean a visual representation of who you are. It could mean the collection of your different looks on social media across different platforms, but it's visually cohesive in what it's communicating. It connects you with people, and when done effectively, personal branding is kind of the secret sauce to how you have strangers find you and without even knowing you, pay attention to who you are on your social media platforms and think, I want to be her best friend. I think we could be really good friends in real life. Have you ever had that feeling when maybe you found somebody online, a blog that you liked, or maybe a coach that you follow on social media on Instagram or Facebook, or you follow their blog, and you feel like you know them so much so that when you see them in person at an event, you have this compulsion just to go up and talk to them like you've been friends forever, and then all of a sudden you realize, oh, we've never actually met in person. That means that that coach has super effective personal branding. It is also the same sort of quality that when you think of a coach and you automatically assign character traits to that coach in general, that is really effective personal branding. So, for example, let's use top coach Melanie Mitro. You may say, oh, Melanie Mitro is just kind of the girl next door, the every woman, she's the busy mom that juggles it all. That is really effective personal branding on Melanie's behalf. Maybe you talk about Amy Silverman, another top 10 coach. You say, oh, Amy's kind of bohemian. She's got this like adventurous spirit. She has a lot of free spirits that kind of connect with her. That's really effective personal branding for Amy. So that's what we're going to talk about really quickly today. So there's a few simple things that you can do to help you discover what kind of voice that you might have to effectively personally brand yourself as a coach. Now, personally branding yourself is kind of important because it's basically what sets you apart from everybody else. But the first thing that you have to figure out to effectively brand yourself is, who are you and what do you love? What do you enjoy? My favorite experiment for this is to set a timer for 30 minutes when you have some spare time to just kind of be alone and relax. Don't let your kids be crawling all over you. Don't be in the midst of a lot of things. Sit down with a glass of wine, a 21 Day Fix approved portion, or some tea, or maybe even some coffee, and just shut everything out for a half an hour, 20 minutes to half an hour, and get on Pinterest. And what I want you to do is create a new board and call it your mood board. And as you go through just in general the Pinterest feed, I want you to pin things without thinking about them that just appeal to you. Now, it could be a certain type of image. It could be an image of a certain subject matter. It could be a font. It could be a color. It could be an aesthetic. It doesn't matter. You cannot censor yourself. That's the most important part about this exercise. Now, when you're done, I want you to go to your mood board and look at it as a whole. And I want you to sit and look and write down key elements that start to stick out to you. This can be a really great exercise for helping you identify the type of stuff that you're drawn to personally that you may not even realize. When I did this, for example, I found myself pinning lots of blue, aqua, ocean, natural elements, a lot of like greenery and leaves, a lot of black and white, things like that. And I realized that that is a big part of my personal style that I may not have been communicating. So I can use that as a springboard to kind of brand myself and communicate the things that I really like, and to also make my social media cohesive. I can pick colors and themes that kind of flow throughout everything so that when people look at my stuff, they know it's mine without maybe even seeing my name right away. They just kind of recognize it. And that's kind of what you're looking for. The second thing that you have to do is figure out, and this is probably the most important, what do you want people to connect with you about? And this can be anything. This can be any sort of theme that it's just something that you like, something that you do a lot in your life. Some possible ones could be motherhood, yoga, DIY projects, life hacks, party planning, stuff with kids, being young, being a young mom, being a girl boss, spirituality, religion, humor, bodybuilding, bikini competitions, running. It could be music. It could be your health transformation. It could be anything that is part of who you are. And you can pick a few of these different themes. And then you can think about, why would my message have someone contact me instead of contacting someone else? So like attracts like. You hear it all the time. And when someone follows you and is really invested in who you are on social media and you're inspiring them, it's because of one of two reasons. It's because, number one, they are already like you, and like attracts like, or they want to be like you. And you letting your own light shine and authentically being who you are is giving them permission to do the same, and that makes them feel alive. And so they love to watch you and follow your journey because in essence, you're giving them permission to be who they really want to be deep down. So those are two really powerful things. But to effectively get to that point, you have to be able to communicate that, who you are and what you're into and what you care about. So this message, discovering this message, this theme, what you want people to connect with you about is so important, because when you're sharing these things, it is going to be the reason why someone chooses to contact you and to join your team instead of why they would choose to contact me or Lindsay or any of the other coaches in Beachbody. This is what's going to set you apart, what's going to attract your tribe to you. So I know that it can be scary because maybe you don't want to limit yourself and you don't want to exclude anybody. But in fact, the opposite thing happens. When you start to get really specific about the things that you care about, it's like the floodgates open and you find all of these people who care about the same things that you care about and who want the same things that you want and who are driven and motivated by the same things you are. And that is when the magic happens. That's when you find your tribe and you guys can run together. And you will find that you're not dragging these people along. You're not having these personality conflicts because you're finding these people who already kind of get you and they get what you're about from the beginning. So if you look at some of the top coaches, like I was saying before, they kind of have these elements and these themes that go along with them. So for example, let's contrast Amy Silverman and Melanie Mitro. Melanie Mitro is a mom. She's at a different stage in her life. She's a stay-at-home mom. She's busy. She is balancing it all, juggling it all, wearing a lot of hats, has this big family element. And then there's Amy Silverman, who doesn't have any kids, so she has much more freedom to kind of travel and adventure and live this bohemian, free-spirited lifestyle. She's a little unapologetic. People love that about her. She's really brutally honest. Two totally different styles, two totally different messages. Neither of them are right or wrong. Both of them authentic to who each of those coaches is. And because of that, they attract tribes of people to them. A mom of 3 that's at home and is frazzled and doesn't know how to make it work and feels like there's no light at the tunnel for her is probably going to identify more with Melanie than Amy. Whereas a single girl who just wants to be able to live the dream, who wants to just be able to go and have adventures and live this life of freedom, they may not really connect with Melanie. They may think Melanie might not understand where they're at, whereas Amy, they totally jive with. So do you guys see what I'm saying? This is why it's so important. So your call to action for this is to, number 1, go and do the fun mood board project. Then kind of write down the themes that you see. Number 2, sit down and think about what message you want to be creating. And then number 3, start to utilize those things across whatever social media platforms you're already using. And then try and be as consistent as possible with those. And you're going to start to see yourself being personally branded in an authentic way, and you'll find like-minded people start becoming attracted to you because of it. I wish you guys all the best. If you need any help, if you make a mood board and you need help kind of figuring out what your themes are, feel free to post them, and I'll come back in and I'll look at them and I'll kind of tell you what I see too. I hope that you guys have a fun time with this project. I can't wait to see what you guys do. Good luck.